first of all, congratulations. Just if you could talk about not only getting to your first Grand Slam final, but having to be here at the U.S. Open and getting by Venus, who you've spoken so complimentary of. What are your thoughts right now?
I'm super happy to be in a Grand Slam final and to do it here. Obviously, my home slam is, even more special, obviously. I think this is what every player dreams about. And fortunately, but unfortunately, I had to play Venus. But having 4 Americans in the semifinals, I think that says a lot about American tennis and where we are right now. And I don't think I would have had it any other way. And I'm just super proud and honored to be a part of what these 4 girls were, what we did tonight.
Sloane, what were you doing during the Australian semifinals?
What was I doing?
Were you watching on television? Like, where were you? What were you doing during the other majors?
I had just had surgery.
Yeah.
And I had a massive cast on. I couldn't walk, so I was like planted on my couch for like 2 weeks, and that was the 2 weeks that, the Australian Open. I was at home.
And you were watching?
Yeah, just watch tennis, and I literally couldn't walk. I couldn't move, so I was just on my couch, and when Australian Open came on, I'd watch that and wake up super late and watch it and whatever. But yeah, watch it like any other slam.
First, congratulations on making the final. 60 years ago, Althea Gibson won her first U.S. Open. This year, 3 black women are in the semifinals. Can you reflect on that?
That's amazing. I don't think there's any other word to describe it than amazing. For me and Maddie, obviously Venus, kind of like we're following in her footsteps. She's been here. She's represented the game so well as an African-American woman. And Maddie and I are just here to join her and represent just as well as Venus has in the past. And honored to be here.
Yes, you.
You were playing awesome tennis. I was looking, I was going like, that's the Sloane Stevens. No, actually, my question is, when did you really believe during this match that you actually could win? At what point?
Well, if you go on the court thinking that you're not going to win, you've already lost, right? So I went on the court believing that I could win the match today. And obviously things didn't go my way in the second set, but I didn't get too down on myself. I knew that at some point I would have an opportunity, and it was whether I decided to step up and take it or not was going to be kind of like the deciding factor. And I think I did that extremely well at the end of the third set. But, yeah, it was a matter of just stepping up and taking the opportunity when it came.
Sloane, you've described being in a cast, being unable to walk. How would you describe your movement on the court tonight and the feeling it gives you to be able to move as you did?
I think I've been moving well, honestly. From when I started, I knew that it was going to be tough. I was going to have to play my way into shape starting from Wimbledon because I obviously couldn't run that much. I was on a walking boot like a month before I played Wimbledon. So I knew that I was going to have to play my way into shape, and I think I've done that pretty well. I got a lot of matches in. I've run a lot. I've played a couple of 3-setters. So, yeah, I think my movement is probably what's kind of kept me in some of these matches, shockingly.
Just how do you explain those big momentum swings in the first 2 sets? What were you doing so well to get up so far in the first, and then what stopped working for you in the second?
Yeah, I wasn't making that many mistakes in the first set. Venus made a lot of errors, and I think in the second set, obviously playing Venus, she's an amazing competitor, and she's been here many times before. She wasn't going to just give it to me, and I think she really stepped up her game in the second set. And, you don't expect anything less from multi-Grand Slam champion, and she's been here before. So I tried just not to get too down on myself, and I knew, obviously, in the third set I was going to have to fight my tail off and just get my racket on every ball.
Can you just look ahead to Madison and go, depending on who you play, since we won't see you tomorrow?
That's a good thing. As much as I love you guys, but no, obviously either one I will be happy to play. It's a Grand Slam final, so it's obviously a neutralizer, but I I don't know. I don't know what to say. Just it'll be a great match. They're both great players. They both play great tennis. I haven't played either one of them in a long time, so I mean, they're both playing well. One of them is going to be in a Grand Slam final, so I mean, it's saying a lot.
Sloane, your movement has been exceptional, but I've noticed in the comeback that your footwork is a lot more rock solid. Was that a key at all in your work with Kamau?
Yeah, obviously when you get in positions like this and you get nervous and you get tight and obviously big situations, for me personally, I have to focus on my feet. I just got to keep them moving at all times. And I think that's something definitely that I have worked on because I do get a little like sluggish with my feet. So I have focused on, in big moments, just keep them moving at all times and I'll be okay.
Your coach has talked about you going back to Chicago and how that had an impact on you and being around the kids he worked with, seeing their grit. Could you just talk about that experience and how it impacted you?
He said that?
Yes, he did.
Where? Or to who?
To me tonight.
Oh, okay. I just like, I don't know where that came from. I love kids. So I love going to a club and being able to hang out and like teach kids tennis and help whenever I can. And I think for me, when I was at a low point and I had a cast on and I had to sit down in a chair and hit, like being around kids who love tennis and have no idea what's going on and just love you because you're just super cool and good at tennis. I think for me, that was just awesome. Like I really enjoy the game of tennis, and I think seeing other kids and things like that really kind of like lifted my mood when I wasn't in such a great place.
What exactly do you mean when you say it's a neutralizer being a Grand Slam final? And do you think the fact that your first will come against another player in her first makes a difference as opposed to playing somebody who's done it before?
Sure. When I say neutralizer, I mean that both players have so many emotions and things going through their head. Maybe not the same things, but thinking about different stuff. It's a big occasion for both players, especially if neither of them have been in a Grand Slam final before. And I think that it's not one-sided. It's not, oh, she has a lot of experience, a lot of this, a lot of that. Like when you get to a final, it's a final, and especially a Grand Slam final, like there's no way to say, oh, she's going to wipe her off the court or she's going to play better. Like, no, and it's anyone's game, and you got to come and you got to bring your own game.
Sloane, at 2 points away from a loss, and you hit that backhand up the line passing shot. It seemed to really fire you up.
That was good, huh?
Did it feel like a turning point?
Yeah, and then the next 2 points, in the next game, I played incredible. The first point of the next game, I hit that, like, she came in and I hit that lob thingy. I don't know what that was. That was great. And then the second point was the let cord, and I hit that thing, yeah. So, I think that really gave me some momentum and really pumped me up. And those are the type of opportunities I was talking about. Like, when you get your chance, you really got to just take it and make the most of it.
You had mentioned a couple times not making sure that you did not get down on yourself during the match. You mentioned that a couple of times. Was that there were times, I believe, or earlier that might have been more of an issue? What, in your mind, what was it, or what has allowed you to be so, I don't know, single-minded and not have that happen? Was it being away from, having tennis taken away from you for a stretch? Is it just a matter of experience and maturity? What's allowed you to do that?
Yeah, I guess because I'm just getting old. It's just more calm and just kind of, it's very situational. Tennis is very situational, and I think once you realize that it's not life or death out there. Like, things, like, you can turn a tennis match around. Like, if you work really hard, if you fight your way through, fight your way back, like, you can make some things happen for yourself. And I think in saying that, obviously, when I came back from injury, I didn't have all of my tools. Like, I didn't know if I was going to be able to run down every ball. I didn't know if my power was still going to be there, my timing. I didn't know if everything was going to be right. And the only thing I kind of had to, like, rely on was my fight and just making sure that every time I was on the court, I gave my all. And when I'm on the court, I realized that if I just stay positive with myself, I can make a lot of things happen, and I can fight back from a lot of things. And it's basically just what I think about. Like, just get my racket on every ball and stay positive, and something good will come of it.
In the back. Sloane, it's been a long and at times difficult journey to get this far. What do you think you've learned about yourself in that time that's been the most important?
That I'm a real fighter. Like, I have a lot of grit. Like, surprising, like, to myself. Like, I don't give up. Like, I'm not gonna give it to someone. I'm not just gonna let them take it from me. I'm gonna make sure that I give everything I have, and I leave everything out on the court at all times, no matter what.
Sloane, do you have any memories of watching your first Grand Slam final ever, and did tonight making the finals feel the way you thought it might feel, or how did it feel?
My first Grand Slam final that I ever watched, I think I talked about this before, was like Venus playing Lindsay Davenport, like at Wimbledon, like forever ago. Like, I don't even know what year that was, but I just thought that was so cool. And now making my first Grand Slam final, I think it's a little bit more overwhelming because this is the U.S. Open. Like, not saying that to make it anywhere else would be not as good, but like to make it in Australia or Wimbledon, like that's not home. Like, this is home. Like, my family's here. Like, everyone is here, and I have the most amazing crowd. I have the most amazing support. Like, it just feels different.
Sloane, you had the surgery, and now you're in your first Grand Slam final. Is there anything about the surgery or the time away that made you a better or different tennis player? Are you the same player you were before, only older?
Yeah, I can say that. Just same player, just older and wiser.
The victory tonight basically ensures that there's going to be a first-time major winner from the young Americans. To what extent do you think, if at all, it signifies some changing of the guard for American tennis, or starting to move in that direction at least?
I just don't want anyone to ever ask me about the state of American tennis ever again. It's like I said before on the court, the proof is in the pudding. So we don't ever need, I don't think, to discuss the state of American tennis. I think we're doing great for Americans in the semifinals, in a Fed Cup final. You see all those junior girls that are playing that are from the U.S. Like, I don't think we have any problems. I think, if anything, our head of player development, our Fed Cup captains, like everyone that's involved with the USTA, like all they can be is proud because American women and men have stepped up in an amazing way. And I don't think anyone should ever, at least for not like 10 years, they shouldn't question it.
I agree.
When you think back, if you can think back 4 years ago to the first semifinal, how different was today, your preparation the whole day, and how different of a player and a person are you now at the old age of 24 compared to doing this at 20?
I don't know. I think I was a baby then. Like, I didn't know as much as I know now. And I think now a lot of life has happened. I've been through a lot. A lot of things have happened. And I'm just happy to be playing, happy to be competing, and happy to be in this position. And now no one can ever take away, like, whether I win the tournament or not. Like, I'm a Grand Slam finalist, and no one will ever be able to take that from me.
On Maddie, I feel like she's up 5-1 at the moment.
Oh, is she?
Yeah. What are your earliest memories of her? I don't know when you would have first met her around, and I think you guys have played once before in Miami.
Yeah.
Talk more about how long you've known her and how.
I've known her for a long time. She's probably one of my closest friends on tour. Love her to death. I don't know how old I was when we met, but like I said, she's one of my closest friends on tour. It's obviously going to be tough, and it's not easy playing a friend. I think you asked that too. Playing another American, that's like a neutralizing factor too, because you grew up playing with someone. But no, if she wins, I'll be so happy that she made the finals. If Coco wins, I'll be so happy she made the final too.
Why do you get along with her?
With Maddie?
Yeah.
I don't know. We just get along.
Sloane, everybody has a different take on their journey. I'm thinking back to that Australian Open semifinal. Is there part of you that thinks back that maybe that happened too soon and caused a lot of stress or pressure for you that, was difficult because you were a baby?
Did you read Ben's article that he wrote about me? It was pretty good. If you didn't read it, I don't know. But I did answer that question, yeah. But no, I think that happened, and a lot of, I was a baby, yeah, and a lot of things came with making that semifinals and beating Serena and having that all happen in my life. But everything happens for a reason. Maybe that happened then, so I could be prepared for this now. I don't regret it. I'm still so happy that I made that semifinal, and no one can take that away from me. Yeah, life happens. Everything happens for a reason. So, maybe I was a baby, maybe I was too young, but who knows?
Bill, and then we're done.
Some players, if they got broken again and again in the third set, would sort of be brought to their knees, so to speak, or distracted. How were you able to just put that out of your mind, so to speak, and fight on?
I knew that I had my chances, like I said, and I just battled and just didn't give up. That's all you can do. When you get down in tough situations, just don't give up. Just try to fight your way out of it, and that's exactly what I did.
Last question, Willie. You spoke a bit about Maddie as a person. Can you speak about Maddie as a player, how you would describe her as a player, and then do the same about Coco, since we won't have an opportunity to speak with you tomorrow?
Oh, okay. Maddie's a great player. Coco's a great player. I don't know.
Specifically, what do you appreciate most about Maddie's game?
She's a power player. They're both actually power players. They hit very hard. They serve big, first ball type of players. She's a great. I don't know what do you want me to describe her game for you? I don't know. Okay, no. No.
How would you compare her style with yours, for example, in the case of Maddie?
Compare our game styles? She plays a lot of first ball tennis, first strike tennis. She plays aggressive. Same with Coco. I don't do that, so I use my wheels more and make sure I get a lot of balls back and make the other person play. But that's really it.
All right.
But I'm not in the league of breaking down game styles. Sorry.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.